Hello and welcome to Ranting Corner.
Ranting Corner.
Ranting Corner, episode 144.
Whoop, whoop.
So, Casper, we previous episode did some warning signs, and I think that got our blood boiling.
We are in a ranty kind of mood.
So now we're in a ranty mood. You've had
This
a bad
is the best
day.
version of Casper and Jen you get.
Yeah.
Like, this is at our peak.
When we're the most, our authentic selves.
Yeah, we don't hold back,
And
right?
Our default is bitching and moaning. All right, so we wanted to just do a rant because I think we both have a lot of pent-up energy.
Yeah.
Especially
It's
from
build up.
a previous episode of like red flags in
I
marketing.
feel like we're on the backside of Q4, right? Q4 is done, and now we're in Q1. So like Q4 always has so much pressure.
Yeah.
So now it's like, ugh. Now you just want to get rid of it and then move on.
Yeah, this is cathartic for us guys. This is
Yeah.
our therapy.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
So you're our counselors.
Yeah.
Kick us off. Let's start this rant, my friend.
Okay, I have the first one, and the first one's brutal. Like, so that first one's kind of hard, but this is my first rant. I think we don't, yes, marketeers talk enough about the fact that we have a lot of bad marketeers out there.
Ooh.
Boom.
Yep.
I said it,
You said
and
it.
I'm here to represent it.
Yep.
Like, I just fundamentally, I don't know, I don't mean to sound arrogant. I don't mean to sound, but this is like, just like we're really quick to say like, hey, there's bad salespeople, there's
Bad CROs, bad
CROs,
CEOs.
CTOs.
Yeah.
There's also bad marketeers.
There's bad marketeers.
There's
There's a lot.
marketeers where I'm like, you're just not really good at your job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm just like, I've seen a lot of cases lately. Fortunately, I get to work with a lot of brilliant ones. Don't get me wrong. I get to work with a lot of like, I don't want to start shouting out the good ones because then they do like, so I'm just going to leave no
You know
names.
who you are.
But you know who you are.
You know who you
There's
are.
a lot of really good ones
Yeah.
out there, but there's also a lot of really bad ones.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, how did you get your job? Like, how did you end up here?
In a previous episode, I talked about the Bruno. Shout out to Bruno,
Yeah.
VP of Sales at Automundo. He is Brazilian, and he said in Brazil they have this saying, "A turtle in a tree."
Yeah.
How did that turtle get there? What's it doing up there? How
I
are we gonna?
I like the turtle, but it's just like, what is it doing?
What's it doing in the tree? And how do we get it down? What's it doing up? How did it get there? Who put who put the turtle in the tree? Yes, I think I'm very fortunate that the portfolio companies that we have are at a certain stage where they're pretty mature, right?
Yes.
Because we're PE, so they tend to have pretty good teams behind them.
Yeah.
But in my career, mama,
Yeah,
I
but
have
like,
reported to some people where I'm just like the turtles in the tree.
but it's like sometimes people have this like idea in their head. Like, I think I said this in the last episode. I think I've worked with more than 100 B2B SaaS. So like, how many have I talked to? Maybe 300 in the last 3 years or something like that. I don't know. Like, I don't even have to count. A lot, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, like, it's just like, I've seen some shit.
Yeah.
Like, and I like, what do you expect? It's not 100% is good. Like, some of it is bad. The problem is, of course, they don't know they're bad.
No.
Like, most of them don't know they're bad.
Yeah.
But there are like, oh God, the stuff I've seen,
Yeah.
Jen. Oh, sometimes I'm just like, why? And the thing that annoys me and the thing I really think I want to rant about is to say it feels like people don't learn.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like we've been doing this. What is this episode 143?
144.
44. Shit. Sorry. We don't learn. But we've been
we
doing
can't
this
count.
for quite some time now. We've been talking about marketing, and I get it. Some people are young in marketing. The youngsters need to make mistakes. I'm totally cool with it. With that.
Yeah, it's okay to make mistakes.
But if you are senior, if you've been in B2B marketing for 10 years, and there are some of these like fundamental things that you and I are talking about, and you've been in, maybe you've even been in B2B SaaS or B2B marketing or whatever, you've been in marketing just in general, and you still don't get it 10 years later or whatever, then I'm like,
you haven't
why?
evolved.
Why?
Like, keyword stuffing.
yes.
I see that still to this day. And I'm like, that stopped being a thing 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And you're still doing it and you're getting penalized.
Or another example, I had someone the other day who's like, yeah, how long have you been in marketing? Yeah, I've been in marketing 7, 8 years. Okay, cool. Like, and so what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing on marketing? Yeah, we've been doing this like LinkedIn outreach where we use this like bot to reach out to people. Like, that's not marketing.
No.
That's outbound automated. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
So
what?
bad marketers give the rest of us a bad name.
And that's the problem. And that's where my rant is coming from. Because like, it makes it so much harder for the rest of us, like for the good ones. And I'm not saying maybe fundamentally I'm just bad. And I'm like, I don't know. But it makes it really hard to do good marketing when the scene is so cluttered with bad marketeers
Yeah.
sometimes.
And if people have had a bad experience with marketing, I mean, in the previous episode, you said, when we have people say, I don't believe in marketing. Well, that's probably because you had a pretty shitty marketer.
Exactly.
But now my job is harder
My job is harder,
because you've had a bad experience, right? I totally agree with you. I think it's not to call people out, but if you're not evolving, if you're not learning, if you're not testing things, if you're not trying new things out, like that's the thing I don't understand is like, we've worked so hard to get where we are.
Yeah.
And then there's some dum-dum who knows the right people or says the right thing,
God.
gets to talk their way out of things, and they're right alongside shoulder to shoulder with us. And it's you would kind of hope like the dinosaurs, they would kind of die off, but they're still there. They're still going strong
It's crazy.
with
and
bad performance.
with bad performance, like you can get really far with politics, like just political skill. Like holy moly! Like I think I knew this before I started Sparkforce, but I have to admit, like if you're good at playing the politics game, you can really make it
you
far.
can go far.
Like you can go super far. Like
And marketers were good at that. We're good at selling
we're
ourselves.
good at selling shit.
Yeah,
Like,
selling shit. Yeah, polishing a turd.
Polishing a turd.
Yeah.
God, there's a lot of polishing turds around there.
Yeah.
Like, we're really happy with these results. I'm like, really?
But
Okay.
our reach has doubled.
Yeah.
Great. How much
Okay.
money? Well,
Well,
we haven't generated money yet.
10x, but we double reached.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, but the vanity metrics and
Exactly.
yeah.
It's just like they're just like, and I think I'm being a little bit more bullish, like harsh on like, and I want to be more harsh on the ones that are seniors in marketing because that's actually where I have the biggest issue.
Well, that's what I mean by the turtle in the tree. Like, how did you become a
How did
senior
you get
marketer when
there?
you can't read a dashboard?
Like, how did you get there?
Yeah.
Like when you can't form a strategy or like you can't form targets, you can't articulate why marketing needs to exist. You can't even talk about the ICP. You can't talk about
balance
messaging.
a budget.
You can't
Balance
even
a budget.
and you can't even get your stakeholders aligned to agree with you. And you don't know anything about digital channels. I'm like,
Who do you know?
What do you do then?
Who do you know?
Like, what do you do? So
And that leads me, not necessarily marketing, but there's one thing that I was told to do in my career a couple of times, I should say. And I've come to the conclusion that no, I'm not going to do that. And that is managing your manager.
yeah,
I really take issue with this because if I'm being managed by one of these bad marketing leaders, instead of challenging the bad leader, instead of the CEO or whoever's in charge saying, okay, this leader is no good, you're telling the people below this person.
okay, that's a
That's
rant.
that's my next rant. My next rant is Casper drinking from a straw during recording. No.
That was great.
All right. That's my other rant is
I
Casper
love
and his chocolate milk, but he loves it, guys. He loves it.
I'm so addicted.
He's
like
so
it's like
addicted,
literally
so I
like
can't really do
I
anything
bought
about it.
20 liters of chocolate milk the other day because there's an offer in Bilka. Just, okay, I'm sorry.
So there'll be a lot of slurping.
Keep ranting.
Anyway, what I take issue with that is instead of holding that shitty marketer accountable, that senior person accountable, you're expecting all the people reporting to them to handle them in a way that doesn't challenge their ego, that doesn't push them to develop. And it makes you work harder. It adds emotional and kind of, mental strain because instead of me saying, these are the numbers, this is what we should do, I have to explain to you what the numbers mean, and I have to polish your ego, and I have to make sure I don't upset you. I don't have time for that.
No.
If you're my boss, it's because you're better than me at this.
Yes.
And I'm going to learn from you.
Yes.
I really, really despise when you're told, you have to learn to manage your manager. No, your manager should then improve.
No, I agree. Yeah.
It's taking the onus off of the senior person and putting it on the junior person. That's not fair.
No, I totally agree with that. I totally agree. I think there's also some like. I think that it's fair to say it's like it's fine. I find it like I do that all the time. I hire people who are smarter than me, right? Like especially on certain topics.
Yeah.
Right. Like I have no clue. I'm not good at editing video. That's why I have Son, right? Or Mariana,
And he's the best.
right? Or so all these things, like I hire really smart people around me. But so I think that should be tolerable. But that doesn't mean it's the same when it comes to leadership, right?
Yeah.
Like that's completely different.
Yeah, but I think if you hire people smarter than you and they tell you, hey, Casper, this is what we should do, then you go, great, go do it. I trust you.
I have to say I've done that a lot, and you have to be a special character to do that.
Yeah.
Like, let me give you an example here, right? Because I think that's a really interesting point. I think a lot of people are doing that mentally. They tell themselves, "Hey, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna hire smart people, and I'm gonna let them tell me what to do." But when shit comes to shove, they won't actually let them do it.
Yeah.
We had our leadership offsite back in November, December, where we planned for next year and stuff like that. And we had like last year was like a year of change for us. Like we did a lot of changes and like we needed to change a lot, and now we're changing it. But some of those were like gut punches, right? Like, hey, Casper, the thing we designed in the beginning that has been great so far, not the right thing anymore. And some of these are like some things you're like, I built this.
Yeah, I really loved that.
I loved that. I'm so happy with that.
Yeah.
And I have to say, like, after that full day, I was like, whew, that was rough, man. It felt like getting kicked in the nuts multiple times in a day. And I'm reflecting on it. I'm like, I'm not saying I'm a special character, but I'm just feeling like, I don't think, I've met a bunch of people along the way, like leaders, like CEOs or C-levels, that if they were treated the same way I did that day or did in general, they would have backed down tremendously. I think there's some people who probably got super defensive. I think there's people who probably would have dealt with it better than I did, to be honest, as well. But that's hard. Like that is hard. Like,
and there's an interesting study, of course, that I read, and I think it said something like 70% of senior executives studied had imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Right. And if you have imposter syndrome, you can react in a number of different ways. But if you're insecure and you're unsure of yourself, you can react in defense, in a defensive way, or you shut down, or you isolate, and but that's not my problem.
No, exactly.
Right? Like you're the leader. You need to lead. So that's my rant about leadership for now.
No, I love that. I have a rant here, and it's more about like it's more about like it's just I think we keep this is maybe just a repetitive one. But I'm so tired of people not fixing the foundation first.
Yeah.
Like that we talked about it last time a little bit as well. Like this shiny new object thing. I'm like, I am so tired of it. Like literally, like I just read up. I have 2 ex-clients that I read up on like this week. And this is also one reason we might have this rant episode here. Because I was looking at their website. One of them just did a rebrand. And one of them was like, first of all, the rebrand looks ugly. That's technically, you can be like biased and you can have like different.
Everyone has an opinion.
Everyone has an opinion. And maybe I just have a bad taste.
You don't like it. Yeah.
I've asked everyone, but we can be biased. So whatever, like design wise, you can say what you want. But fundamentally, the positioning, the messaging.
If it's the one that
we're both talking about, and we're not going to mention, we're going to be play it safe, play it nice, but what the fuck? Like, what the actual fuck?
And that kind of leads...
Did you learn nothing?
And mine kind of leans in with you of like this idea of like, just say the word AI.
Yeah.
Just say the word empower. Just use these buzzwords.
And both of those cases that we're talking about now is sprinkled in with AI. And it was so funny on the one, I actually haven't showed you the other one. And I'm not going to say it now because then it might be too easy to guess, but... literally, we took the first part of the statement, and then we removed it, and we're like, the next part you can literally insert to any website in anywhere. It was something about like inserting AI into your company lifecycle. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
What is it? But it has the word AI in it.
But it has AI. And like, what the fuck does it mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, we could have that as an agency. We insert your product into our company lifecycle with AI.
I use ChatGPT, so I am using
it
AI.
Is so
this
bad.
is an AI-powered podcast.
And I think my rant goes back to like, fix the foundation and learn. Like, please fucking learn. Like, adapt. Like, how can you still be stuck at this stuff?
Yeah, and like for me, we talked about data in the last episode. Like you have no data, but you're gonna tell me marketing's not working? Excuse me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
How
do you know?
And it's so funny. Like it's just I understand there's internal politics. I understand. It's not easy
That's my
always.
rant,
But I remember my days when I worked at Templify. Like we couldn't control, like I think headlines are typically the ones that are quite sensitive and stuff like that. But we had a say. It was not like we were voiceless. We had a big say in that. Like, and this back when I worked and I was just on the junior level, right? Like we had a big say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if we had a say, you should also have a say. Like, so I'm pointing at you, marketeer. It's your fault.
And that also leads maybe to my rant of like changing strategy every 6 months.
God.
Because it's like, no, now we are the blah, 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 blah. And you're like, what is that? Who, what, where, why are we doing this? I have worked in companies where, like every 3 or 4 months we have a new strategy session. It's like, but the last strategy we came up with has not even materialized. and now we're shifting again, and then you wonder why nothing's working.
It's so funny because like it's also people like tend to forget like what are the two areas in my opinion that take the longest to implement a new strategy. In my opinion, that's product. Like product takes some time. Sometimes you can do quick fixes, but like fundamentally, if you're like, we want to pivot the product, well, that takes
some time.
That takes some time, right?
Yeah.
So that's one. The other one is marketing.
Yes.
Because like if you want to, we are focused on this segment. Now we want to focus on this. Okay, we're starting from scratch over here.
We have to build up.
It's gonna take some time.
Yeah.
We took us 1 year to build this. It's gonna take a year here. So if you keep changing every 3 to 6 months,
But Casper, can't you just change the bids on Google Ads?
yeah, it's gonna be great.
And that's all you have to do.
I'm
Change the
physically
website.
vomiting for the ones listening right
I
now.
had a situation once where we were updating a website, and the C-level met with us. We booked an offsite meeting room, and we went page by page by page to action this person's requests. And what was really annoying is he had a competitor's website, and he's like,
Yeah.
so I want it to look like this, and then I want this bar to look like this, and I want the hamburger menu to look like this. And it was just like, okay. And then 6 months later, do it again.
Yeah.
And do it again. And the reason it's not working is because the website. Bullshit.
Yeah.
If you're having a hard time generating business, it's not your website that's the problem.
Typically
it's
not.
your product, it's your positioning,
Yeah.
it's your ICP. Like there's any number of things, but
It's just, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Like I find this super mind-boggling. Fix the fucking foundation.
get your
Like,
foundations
get
right
your-
first.
Like especially like, and it goes to like, there's so much talk about tools these days. Like I get so many people, like literally, I have people that come into me like sometimes when like have conversations and we have good talks, and then we're like, and then I look through it, and like sometimes when you do an audit, I'm like, whoa, there's a lot of things you need to fix. You're not targeting the right ISP. Yeah, but Casper, do you work with Clay? I'm like, yeah, we do. We're good at Clay, and like we do Clay stuff. Okay, cool. Can you know how to travel signals, and we can use signals from here and target it? Yeah, I know how to do that. Like we can do all that stuff. But you know what? Right now your conversion rate is 0.22% from lead to closed one. Maybe we should fix that first.
Yeah. Let's
Should
look
we
at
just
that.
like, I don't know. I don't think signals is kind of solving that.
But I have Clay now.
Yeah, but I have Clay, so I can pass like third party signals. Let's just start by passing first party.
Let's go. Let's start there.
You don't even have retargeting set up. Like, let's, we
Yeah.
can start here.
Get the bloody basics right.
It's just frustrating, right?
Yeah.
Because it, like, I think it kind of goes back to like, marketing is not always like we always sound. So I heard someone the other day said like, Casper, don't you always like? I feel like sometimes you make marketing complicated. I'm like, complicated? It's so simple. Like sometimes it's actually quite simple.
Yeah.
There's a lot of advanced stuff, a lot of complicated stuff. But if I think most people would be successful in their marketing jobs if they just fucking did the basics.
Yeah.
If they just did the basics, have a good website, clear positioning, clear ICP, some good, nice colors, some nice infrastructure on your site, then you have a good handover to sales, have a good sales process. Like if you had those things in place, you have some good SEO, some optimized SEO, just like not the advanced stuff, just the basic stuff where you like stuff, you produce some content, you distribute it nice and easy. If you do those things, I will promise you will get results.
I'm not to use a sports reference, but as the only woman on this podcast, let me use a sports reference. The best teams.
You know
are not-
more about sports than I do.
I probably do.
I figured you do. You watched Super
I watched
Bowl.
the Super Bowl.
I didn't even.
yes. But you used to play American football.
Yeah, well, for like 4 months or something.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
Anyway, the best teams are not the ones who do the huge complex plays. The best
No,
teams are the ones
exactly.
who execute the fundamentals all the time, every time. You know, when I played
Yeah.
basketball, it wasn't let's practice these weird ass drills. It was we're going to get to the free throw line and we're going to practice our free throws. Simple, get it right. That's how we should do everything in life. But it's like, no, we'll just buy clay. That'll fix all our problems. No,
Yeah.
tools do not fix misalignment. Tools do not fix shitty products.
It's the classic 90-10 rule, right?
Yeah.
Like you're chasing the 10%. Instead, you should be focusing on the 90%.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, yeah.
90% that drives everything, focus on that. Then you can chase the 10%.
Stop the Hail
after.
Marys. Just do,
Yeah, and
just,
it really Hail Mary is a good like it feels like Hail Marys. People like and they sometimes they end up like in a situation where they're so desperate. They're like the only thing that's ever gonna work is like we have to do this like super viral thing, and like I'm like
Make it
"Whoa,
go viral.
make it go viral,
Make it go
oh,
viral.
Fuck me, I hate that
yeah,
so much.
that's the next rant.
Yeah.
Make it go viral.
Oh God.
Okay, I'm going to tell this for everyone at home. Anything that has ever gone viral has been intentionally orchestrated
Yes.
to go viral.
Yes.
It has had money behind it. It is very rare that something just happens unless it's like something on the, TikTok that someone has seen.
Or not absolutely intentional.
Yeah.
Like if it's like a mistake, mistakes go viral.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the coffee
fuck-ups.
cup in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, exactly. That
was a
go
fuck up.
viral. Right.
But if you see a product, if you see, something, a service going viral, that is a very carefully orchestrated, a plan of attack
Yes.
from multiple angles. There were probably influencers. There's, a lot of money's in there. So when people are like, can't we just make it? Oh, the amount of times I have been told that in my career, can't we just make a viral campaign? Sure. Let me get right on that.
Yeah.
My rant, aside from the make it go viral, is when companies just decide they want to go enterprise. Let's go enterprise. All we have to do is increase the price. And we're enterprise. Right? And I was at I was very lucky to speak at the Winning by Design, shout out to Jocko van der Kooi, Winning by Design Impact Summit in Ghent. And this came up of like, what do you say to companies who want to go enterprise? And this is what I say. I would love to look like Angelina Jolie in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. But I'm not built that way.
Yeah,
right?
it's not going to
I
happen.
could spend a lot of money being someone else, or I can double down on what I'm good at.
Yeah.
Like be the thing you're good at. Stop
Yes.
trying to be enterprise because you think
Yeah.
that you're the next Salesforce, that you're
also,
the next
like,
Maersk. Like
It's not easy.
it's not easy, and it is not a case of just upping your price and adding a little bit more CS.
And everyone's chasing it too.
And everyone's
chasing it. Like it's more fun, right? So I
So
totally get
people
it.
who just think we can do PLG, we can be mid-market, SMB, we can be enterprise.
Yeah.
Go. Like they
Yeah.
treat enterprise as if it's like a motion, like it's like ABM or like no, it takes a different product. It takes a different marketing strategy. It takes a different sales team.
Yeah.
You can't have a junior salesperson talking to a Fortune 500 executive.
No.
Stop.
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 Stop. Stop it.
That's going to be the theme of the episode.
Yeah. Stop.
Stop.
Stop. Just listen to Jen and Casper.
Thank you.
I think so.
All right. You have another one?
Yes, I do. I think it's more like I think I get this a lot, like a lot, and I'm so tired of this one. I haven't heard it like in a few weeks now, but I heard it a lot just in early January and like end of December especially. Oh God, we will invest once we see results.
I will join a gym once I start seeing that I'm getting toned.
Once I've lost the first 5 kilos, then I will buy a gym membership.
Then I'll buy the gym membership.
That's not how it works.
No.
You have to invest first, go to the gym, work out, and then you see results.
Yeah.
Marketing's the same.
You
It's the
have
same.
to. Yeah, it costs money.
Casper, you can get as much money as you want as soon as you show results. I'm like, and it's so funny because like sometimes even when you get those, like then we've had cases where like, okay, we did it now. We fucking did it.
Here's your
actually.
results.
We did. Where's the money? I'm like, yeah, I'll try. And they're like, how much more budget you get? Around 10% more. I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up. Like, stop being delusional.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the like delusion. Like, stop.
Yeah.
I've been around the block too much. Like,
And there's also, and I don't know if you get this. I sometimes get this. Like this. Can't you just like do it for free?
oh,
God. Or we'll mention you on something, and that's like free marketing for you. And it's like, well, this is my time, and it kind of feeds into that. I've had before where it's like I was supposed to speak at an event. I was asked last minute, can you speak at this event? I was on vacation.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, can't you come back early and speak? And I'm like,
No,
pay me.
Pay me. Sure, you're paying.
If you pay me,
Yeah.
it's like, well, no, but this would be really great exposure for you. Well, but it's the same kind of vibes of like, prove it first, and then we'll pay you for it. Like, no.
exactly. I'm okay with like having some sort of roadmap for validating things. Like it's totally cool. It's not like that, but it's just like you can't like that phrase just sits really bad with me. Like when you look at marketing and how to do marketing these days, I'm just so tired of it. Like I hear it all the time.
Mine now is needless bureaucracy. Approval. You need approval for this. You need approval for that. I tried to sign a contract with a vendor, and it was the same exact. It was in the budget. It was the same exact money we had spent with the previous vendor who we weren't happy with. So the budget was there. The amount of hoops I had to jump through
Yeah.
to get the approval to spend the same amount of money that I had been spending before. It was crazy.
It's so crazy. Yeah.
And
That's the
yeah.
best thing about being your own company. I can tell
You
you
don't
that.
have to do that.
No, I have to deal with other companies' bullshit on bureaucracy. That's fine, but myself, no. And then whenever like sometimes people in Spark was like, shouldn't we have some more rules on it? Nah,
Yeah, we're good.
we're good.
We're good.
Yeah, we're fine.
Like, don't get me wrong. Of course, it's important if you're handling people's data
Yeah.
and privacy. You got to cover your bases. I get
course.
that. But sometimes it's like there's no financial impact here.
No.
There's no legality. I just want to hire a designer
Yeah.
to get the stuff done that you want me to do, and you're gonna make me wait 6 weeks.
I don't have time for that.
I don't have time for that. Like, can we just?
Yeah.
I think unnecessary bureaucracy and slack policies and you can't put that out to, that's not that's I don't know, like when you try to like make announcements or like just like the needless hoops and restrictions and like I'm not saying everything should be a free-for-all, but if we got paid hourly, is this how I should be spending my time?
Yeah,
Going
exactly.
through hoops, getting bits of paper here, like just common sense is not that common.
I think sometimes like what is it like there was I can't remember the company. We actually haven't done that ourselves. We could do that. There was a company who I think have added to every meeting they would have, for every meeting they would have knowledge on salaries, on hourly salaries, and then they would attach it to the meeting. So like let's say 5 people join it, let's say they paid $100 an hour or something in dollars. Just then like this meeting costs $500. Like okay, so are you okay with me wasting? Because like I had a workshop with an ex-client where we showed up 10 people, and then they hadn't prepared. We'd sent them a bunch of stuff, and they were like, no. We didn't have time. Like, we're 10 people here.
Yeah.
Like, 5 from you, 5 from us. Are you aware how much money we're spending on this? So we need to spend the first hour on walking you through the stuff we did?
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? Do your fucking job.
If you paid me per hour. Yeah.
Like, you are the director of marketing for this company. Go fucking do your job. Prepare this shit.
Yeah, you're asking us.
You're asking us to show up and help you.
Yeah.
Then at least you can do is read the stuff we did.
And also maybe on the other side of the coin of that, I know that we've had strategy sessions where we want to get everyone in the same room. And I have been told by like CFOs and stuff like that would cost us a lot of money in terms of productivity. So I don't think we should have sales in the call. And you're like, but we need to talk to sales. Like,
yeah, exactly.
So it goes both ways of like prepare, make the most of the time, but at the same time, don't be so tight that you're like, oh, well, we can't really have an alignment call because that would require the sales team to stop selling. Okay, great. We'll just stay fragmented and doing our own thing then, shall we?
But
shall we?
I think the thing is also like, it kind of like, so people, you and I, we work hard.
Yes.
Right? Let's be real. Like we work really hard. And I know at least from my own personal sake, I work a lot. And I know a lot of the people at Sparkforce also work a lot, but not like we all have periods. But like I don't, I have some other standards for myself than I have for my company. Yeah. And I'm trying to be fair with my company. But I know it's my company. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. I don't mind staying up until midnight working because, it feels great.
You see the pay.
I want to do it. But when I have the situation like this, where like, here's a 10-man workshop, you show up unprepared, it would not even take you an hour to prepare, it would take you 15 minutes. You can find 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Like,
and if you don't have 15 minutes, put it in ChatGPT and say, give me a high-level summary of what I need to know. Right? Like there's
at
tools.
least do something.
Do
right.
something.
Yeah.
Yes.
But also speaking of AI and ChatGPT, like I'm like, and it's more like a quality discussion for me.
Yeah.
It's more like I'm so tired of like people expecting them. If I just put in this shit, it's gonna turn out great. Yeah. No. It's very simple. Shit in, shit out.
Shit in, shit out.
And that goes for everything else.
Absolutely.
If you pay for a shit agency, you will probably get shit results. If you pay for a premium, you'll probably get more likely to get premium results. It's for everything. If you put in shit into AI, it can't fix your shit.
Yep.
It's gonna be bad shit anyways. Shit in, shit out.
Shit
and that
in,
goes
shit
for
out.
everything.
Yeah.
Like you're paying for quality. You're doing quality. Like that's the fundamental thing. Like that's why things matter.
Yeah.
Like, and because I had a talk the other day with a client that didn't go with us, right? And they were like, "Hey, we picked a cheaper option." I'm like, You've had shit results for 5 years now.
Yeah.
For 5 years, I can look and see your marketing's been shit. You rotated between 5 agencies. Speaking of flags.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Bad flags, right?
Bad
So
flags.
this was like, I was already skeptical. So I was kind of, when they said no, I was like, yeah, that was probably dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, dodged a bullet.
And
yeah.
they 5 agencies over 5 years, and their marketing's never worked. And now they're picking the cheaper option again. And I'm like, go do you. But
Yeah, yeah.
but fundamentally, you're not learning from those mistakes again. And it's just like, it's so stupid.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
And speaking of maybe learning from mistakes, cold outreach.
Oh.
AI generated cold outreach.
Oof.
We talk about this. Our friend Dave. Everyone wants to do it. No one wants to receive it.
Yeah.
I am so sick and tired of people like, hi, Jennifer, I see that you work at company so-and-so. We help companies like yours with your sales outreach. And I'm like, really? You help PE firms with sales outreach? What company? Or my favorite is when they're like, our tool helps you find the right prospects for your sales team. I'm like, well, you failed at the first hurdle, buddy, because I don't have a sales team. And if you did just do some research, because when we talked about bad marketers, there's also really lazy salespeople.
Yeah,
and they outshine
like
the
every
good
department,
ones.
like in an organization, has bad people, and you will like every organization has bad people, and there's always gonna be some bad seeds, and there's like and I think we sometimes in the marketing space have a tendency to like protect ourselves.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like sometimes I feel like we need protection because we also get a lot of shit. Yeah. But at the same time, we're also like, yeah, but some of it is kind of deserved, right? Like, so yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
All right, I think. Are we
Enough
gonna,
ranting. I feel much better.
Yeah, we feel better.
I don't know about you guys listening to this, if it's good for you guys, but this is like, it's
therapy.
meditational. Like, I would rather do this than go to a spa or something. Okay, maybe not.
Okay, I wouldn't say that, but
It's Valentine's almost.
it is Valentine's Day. You have any plans?
No, we're not very Valentine's-y people. I think it has something to do with the fact that my dad-in-law has his birthday on Valentine's, so we always end up celebrating his birthday.
Fair enough.
And my sister has her birthday the day before,
Okay.
so it's very like crowded. And
it's a crowded
then,
space.
like, I'm not here to sugar thing my own code or whatever you say, but I actually buy Camilla flowers like randomly.
Yeah.
Like I am less good at it than I was a few years ago, admittedly, but I've always been like I just buy randomly.
Every day is Valentine's Day.
So, but no, like it's more like it means more when it's not planned.
Actually, this is coming out way after Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
so this is not relevant for anyone.
No.
All right.
Well,
anyway.
we don't have good advice anyways, so.
Yeah, don't listen to us. Anyway, maybe Timmy, cut that.
Yeah, cut it or like keep it in. It's just for the Valentine's people.
For Valentine's people.
Thank you so
All
much for
right.
listening, folks.
Thanks for letting us get that off our chests.
Yeah, it's a
I
good
think we
rant.
feel better. You probably don't feel great now. Maybe
I
you need
feel good, but if you listening to this don't feel good,
Sorry.
call us.
No, don't call us. I don't
No,
want. That's
actually, I
another
don't
rant.
want-
Talking on the phone. Don't call me.
No, don't call me.
Write to us.
Yeah, text me, DM me,
Do a DM.
rant to me.
Yeah.
I can take it.
All right, folks. Have a good one.
Thanks for tuning in.
Take it easy.
Bye.
Bye.